One guy from Cape Town as far as I know, and that is to Sana.
So a big welcome to everybody here to Extreme Festival presented by Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa. We're in Cape Town, the mother city. It is absolutely cooking hot here. We're already past the 30 degrees Celsius mark as the ZX10 Masters Cup makes its way out onto the circuit. Hein McMahon, or Slucky as he's known, he's there alongside him with multiple former champion Graham Van Breda, running the 41 for the first time in a long time. Graham Van, watch out for him with James Barson alongside him. The third row is Adrian Van Dalen, looking good on the VAG Automotive Centre Kawasaki. Sophie September, IM63, he is there alongside him, and then Reggie Seal is the third bike on that third row. They are ahead of the only Cape Town-based rider, Lubabalo and Sana, Keith Agliati, and ZX60 bike, but this time running the number 70 on it, of course, is Dieter Hazeman. He takes over the reins there for the other Cape Town-based rider who would normally be involved. Extreme Festival makes its way to the famous Grand Prix circuit for the second round of both of their championships. They've had the first round, of course, of the regional side of this Extreme Festival last weekend at Swartkops, and this weekend we're in the mother city. It's a hot mama city, I can tell you. We're sitting at just over 30 degrees Celsius already. 16 motorcycles going at it for the first time this year, and looking to do the damage early on, if they can, to championship aspirations. Our man on the sideline as well, getting a couple of extra shots there for the ZX10 Masters Cup. We've got riders all around the country that have come to join us. They've all mostly Gauteng-based riders, but as I said, Lubabalo is here. Jason Lamb has come from the coast as well, up on the east coast of South Africa. And there you can see JLR just on the left-hand side of that shot as we get ready to go. 5-second board goes up, and the first race is about to take place. Here we go, down towards turn Disno. So GBBD just putting Hein McMahon down a couple more positions. And the first time in anger through that big right-hander, it takes them onto the back straightaway. Look at the gap that Seller's already pulled. Seller getting away to the, you can see him in the mix, but they are swapping in positions in the background. Watch in the background as you see those bikes left, right, and center across the main start-finish line. So as they come across the line there, Varinga is there in third place. I just didn't quite pick up on him there as they came down to the braking point into Cape Town corner. I thought he might have run off slightly. But there he is, back in the mix as Van Breda sneaks back up ahead of that K9 machine. And I can tell you, Hein McMahon has got some work to do. That K9 Law Enforcement's Kawasaki sitting at the moment in fourth place. He's not where he wants to be. He wants to be higher up than that. That is for sure. Further back from that, Jason Lamb in an epic battle here. Lamb has got Reggie Seal with him, and Seal and Temba are right there with him as well. Seal's got, Temba's dropped back slightly there. And joining the party by the looks of things is Adrian Van Dalen. Yeah, Adrian Van Dalen has now joined that party, so a little bit of chopping and changing with the Cape Town corner. Remember that Cape Town corner is a bank corner, so on a motorcycle, you've got to get it perfect. Otherwise you can run high, and then it sends you off into the kiddie litter. Seller 1:12.4, fastest bike on circuit, understandably. He is at least 3 seconds quicker than anybody else out there at the moment. Hangs on to third, but he's got two riders very close and looking for a way past. One is the 4 bike of Hein McMahon, the other one is Graham Van Breda. GBBD absolutely hauling at the moment and looking for a chance to get through. Hitting the slipstream is important. Down that back straightaway, that slipstream will certainly help as they come hauling down onto the brakes. And it is Hein McMahon squirreling under the braking. As Bridgestone's starting to feel the heat of the day, the heat of the track. And the back end is slipping and sliding under braking there from Hein McMahon. Jason Lamb having a fantastic run here in second place. Maintains that small margin. There's a big fight on here for third. Really, really great little battle here between these two motorcycles as they come into it. And you can see they're going side by side as they come through the kink. Oh, what a move! Around the outside from Slucky. Can he get on the inside? No, he's not quite there. It's the right thing to do. Come out of the kink on the right-hand side of the motorcycle. On the brakes. Slucky absolutely brilliant on the brakes there. And Hein McMahon maintains the gap and gets back ahead of the attempt there from Graham Van Bedard to get ahead of him. The fight is on here big time. Fights for third place. Nice fight for about place on track as well there with Barson, Seal and Van Dalen. It's actually for sixth place, I beg your pardon. Barson at the moment sitting in the top six. And there's kind of two packs of riders. The leader's gone, he's not even in the same shot here. Jason Lamb hangs on for now for second. And right on his tail is this little fight. Have a look at this. K9 Law Enforcement and the X-Pro Security Machine all over the back there of the Vino Logs and Benko machine. You can see just how tough it's going to be here for the Juggernaut Varinga to keep out Hein McMahon. Look at a great battle as they come down that little short straight up towards Sorrel Sweep. Head up there, that Tiger Wood track catches a couple of motorcycles like this. You've got to time it perfect to do that double right hand at Sorrel Sweep. Van Bedard late on the brakes into turn one. Holes hooks, a difficult pass to make. Can he get through? I think he might have. I think he's got through. Yes, that is the Agliotti on the 31 bike. Pretty good there for Ridgeway and EDC. Good run there from the two of them, but Keith Agliotti at this point in time on a move. Remember, he came from the 60. 6 laps of race action already happened, so halfway stage and the whole field coming through there. Everybody says still stayed upright, that's a good thing. Despite the heat on the tarmac, that's the man they got to all try and catch. King Price, Liquid Molly. He's going to have a couple of those brand new brandies, I'm sure, by the end of the day, if this is the kind of race action he's got there. So he's having a fantastic... He's pulled a margin of almost 20 seconds up the road from anybody else on track, so that's the differential there. So gave him the number one plate with 2 rounds to go last year. He didn't even have to do the last 2 rounds. Just to wrap up the championship. Looks like he wants to do a similar thing here this year and get the job done early. This is the battle for second. There's a new second place as Hein McMahon sneaks up the inside into turn 5, Fostron corner. He goes around and comes out in second spot now, ahead of Jason Lamb. So Lamb now having to do the work. Tyre Mart, East London. For a chance to come back there at that K9 Law Enforcement and X-Pro Security Kawasaki. Late on the brakes is Van Bedard. Stefanuti Stocks and Motul Machine closing down now for third place. So maybe a chink in the armour there for Jason Lamb. Can he find a way through though? That's the difficult part. Come out of turn 2. Castral corner and head through the sweep. Down into Damps. Van Bedard is looking dangerous. He wants to put them into numerical. So a little bit of a fight on between these riders and they are not holding back. We've got Class A out front. Hein McMahon 1 and 2 behind Sella. Further back, Johan LaRue. Perron Parassman having a big little tussle now coming into this final part for the last part of the single digits available on this race. Sella now over 20 seconds ahead of McMahon and Van Bedard. We watch Parassman drop JLR into that 11th place. Behind them, Keith Agliotti has dropped down to 12th place. So he's had a bit of an issue there somewhere and fallen by the wayside ever so slightly there on the Ridgeway racing machine. He's got those EBC brakes and maybe feeling the heat of the day there on the terms of the rubber, the body, as well as everything else that happens there. He has dropped down slightly in terms of the lap times. He's now hitting the 14s, but he's still fastest on the track, completely ahead of anybody else's lap times, even though he's only doing 1 minute 14s. He's able to do 1 minute 11s actually around here. Doesn't quite got to that pace yet, but currently lapping in the 14s to just maintain the 20-odd second gap he's got over Hein McMahon. This is the gap now between McMahon and Van Bedard. Van Bedard's closed right onto the tailpiece there of Slucky and wants to maybe take that second place away from him. He'll be looking to take the win in Class B, remember, so they've pulled slightly away now from Lamb and Varinga. That's the gap there, you can see in the background there, Jason Lamb. Honey. Varinga, Odler and Van Dalen still coming to the line. James just his settled position there as he came out of turn 2. Now he gets the drive. Trying to get the traction on those Bridgestone tyres as they head up into Sorrel Sweep. See what the slipstream ability is here. He doesn't possibly want to do it on this lap. He might want to do it on the next one, so that he doesn't have to fight. There's a rider down. Is that out who that is. Van Breda, Hein McMahon. It is Clincella. We're going to just take through here for the final lap, and then we'll come back to that battle between Van Breda and McMahon to see who wraps up second place overall. Remember, Kumali Kawasaki about to make its way to the checkered flag for the first time in 2025 and starts where he ended last year with a victory. So Sella takes the win comfortably in the end. It's 25 seconds almost down the road to the next battle, but we're going to go to pretty shortly. McMahon and Van Breda are very close. Van Breda shuts the door down into Cape Town corner. Watch for Hein McMahon coming out. Remember, Hein McMahon will be looking for second place in Class A, but he'd like second place overall. It's a drag race to the line now between McMahon and Van Breda. Van Breda's got the drive though. GBBD will take the second place. He'll take the win in Class B's with that second. McMahon comes through for second place in Class A, but third place overall for him. And that's not a bad way to start the day for Jason Lamb and for Dave Varinga as they finish up in the top 5. Jason Lamb winning Class C, of course, with that 4th place. Varinga takes Class B second place. And now we watch to see what's going to happen now. Hope you've enjoyed all that action, and please stay with us as we get into our 4-wheel categories. We've got another heat of Sunbet ZX10 Masters Cup coming up a bit later on. So make sure you stay tuned and also check out all the
challenge into motorsport as a whole. VW Rookie Cup, just 2 old hands and the rest is all new kids on the block out there. The likes of is there Khan. Second those model debut, St. Christopher Cape. Third row, Luke Gill, and right here with him is Vernon Robertson, followed there by Josh Moore, and then Luke Corbett out there as well in car 23. So 8 of them out there for the rookies. Vernon Robertson, Lee Robertson family. Couple of current and British classes as well. Yes, so good thanks. Bill, Joshua, Mr. David. There are different classes from the northern states. So that's whenever it's on, like the take on they sort of play with the Super Cabin card and play Super. Or started also starting with the rest of the card section, and from there look where they have gone and still will go. Talking about them, both of them is actually going in various classes. That's Charles Peter and Kyle, in various classes.
Right, so up next we're heading into our Rookie Cup first race of the day. Wasn't sure if the cars would be ready in time for Killarney, but I've just been given information that they will be racing at Killarney, and MSA4 will launch its new platform of single-seater racing in South Africa, based on a Formula 4, of course. With an almost Halo-style device around the cockpit, all forms of the sport that we love. Mad Mertens, of course, a single-seater champion. Daniel Rowe, sport that we love. Mad Mertens, of course, a single-seater champion. Daniel Rowe was a touring car champion and a Polo Cup champion. Brad and Jonathan Mkhotsi both winning in Polo Cup. Brad, of course, taking a Polo Cup championship, but then, of course, Jonathan Mkhotsi becoming the first man to come out of e-racing to take a national championship circuit racing class last year when he won the Super Cup class. So you can't ask for a better array of coaches to be involved in this category. And looking forward to seeing exactly how things the first heat of 2025 fall. Supposed to when it comes to driving these cars. But as they come up to take the positions now on the grid, let's see whether or not he can put into practice what he's done now in qualifying.
Between the front 7 vehicles. Is there a car in the 78?
On Luke Hill as they head down towards turn 1, though, looks like Uzziah has hang on and has. So Khan holds on for the whole shot. Berlin around the outside. It's Luke Hill on the inside, I've heard, looking for a way through to try and stay ahead of the young lady driver. Somebody running wide. That was the AF fans car. Berlin Robinson just running 5 at least, if possible. 78 leads out. That is the Uzziah Khan machine. 33 behind that. Mara Deleuze hanging on for second. So Deleuze the inside line. Forces Fiorotto onto the dirt. Oh, he's right on the dirt. Smart call car goes right onto the dirty stuff on the outside of turn 5. Manages to hang on and gets back on track, but it will have compromised his driver of the two coming out of Cape Town corner. Fiorotto's now got himself up into the 3 spot. 7 ahead of 43, 4, 3 and 4. Oh, somebody spinning. Someone spun out just in the background there. And the car's just getting sideways coming out of Castrol. Was that Luke Corbett? It was. Corbett, unfortunately, just looping his car out, under braking into turn 2. Maybe just went a little bit too hard on the brakes and the back end stepped out on him. Khan at the stage leads. Half a second over Mara Deleuze. Mara Deleuze into second place off the line and has hung on to it since, but now he has got the hard charging Fiorotto and Tate looking to close him down. Into Fostron. I haven't really seen any changes here, but certainly might just see the gaps close slightly. Smart call, and the Sportex cars very, very evenly matched. All of these cars, of course, have been tested to be within a couple of hundredths of a second of each other in terms of the pace that they are able to give. The coaches would have ensured that. They were given an opportunity only a couple of weekends ago down at the Elder Scribanti circuit to give these cars a bit of a shakedown and make sure that each of them are on par. But does he make it stick? Yes, he does. How did he hang on to that one? A brilliant bit of driving there from the 7 car. And Fiorotto in front, of course, was Ozia Khan. When it comes to driving front-wheel drive machines, he's had a couple of seasons already. Fiorotto is trying. He's looking for a way through, but he can't find it just yet. Massive battle on here between the two of them. Great job being done by the man out front, though. Ozia Khan has not been bedded. He got off the line. He got the job done nicely in the turn as he hit the brakes down into Fastron corner to make it move into second place. Since he's been there, there's been no answer yet from Deleuze. Coming through, watching for Josh Moore, Berlin Robinson on his tail, and then it is Luke Hill. Corbett a long way back. That's after the spin at turn 2. They come into Castrol, leaving Luke Hill behind her ever so slightly. Slightly better line there from Berlin Robinson to do, but of course this is the learning curve that you have to do in Rookie Cup. We're about to get to the halfway stage here. Big fight on. As you can see, it continues here between Fiorotto and Deleuze. So close. Tate's joined the party though, because of that little fight. They've slowed each other down slightly. It has allowed another bit of an advantage to be gained by Ozia Khan out front. So Ozia just doing it all right at this point in time. Khan hangs on. 2.2 seconds on these two into turn 1. Tate hasn't quite got there yet. Christopher Tate trying to close that gap down, but not always easy to do when you're on your own. You've got 2 cars ahead of you. They tend to go through the air a lot quicker because they can share the load with the slipstream ability. Speaking of slipstream, Berlin Robertson has tried on a few occasions to use that slipstream to get through here on the Puma car. Hasn't found a way through just yet. Josh Moore hangs on to keep her out. Slightly wide this time out of turn 2 as well, so that's given another opportunity maybe for Luke Hill to join the two of them and continue fighting for what is now 5, 6 and 7th on track. Deleuze into the clutches now, big time of Fiorotto. Giovanni looking for a chance under the slipstream effect. Here they come, down that back straight away. These are the 1 litres are going to be pushing it to the limit. Late braking from that retail inside car. Can he get through? Oh, he has a look. He was late and had to come on the brakes again, and it got a little bit squirrely in the front end. It just lost him the opportunity to make the dive on the end. A big gap down to Fiorotto, who's also got a massive advantage over the 3rd place car now of Christopher Tate. Tate at this point comes out. Find a way to maybe close the gap down here with 3 to go. I don't think there's going to be an answer. Doesn't look like there's an opportunity here for him to be involved in the fight there for the lead with Ozia Khan. He's just been the class of the field so far. And on the braking point they go down into turn 1 again. Luke Hill we're looking at right now, trying to close down there on Josh Moore. Berlin Robinson's dropped to the back of that pack, so a little bit of an issue there somewhere around the circuit that we might have missed there with the AF fans car, Berlin. She right now looks like might have had some kind of, got a little bit too hot on the brakes and ran wide and ended up going into the dirty stuff. 2 to go. Khan with only 1.6 seconds now, so Khan has backed out slightly there. Maybe just realizing that Fiorotto is in a comfortable place. He can manage it from there. Tate wants to do the same thing. Here's the fight for 4th. Josh Moore being caught rapidly there by Luke. Hill. He's attempting to do here in the closing stages. We've got a lap and a half to go for the leader. These two have still got about the same amount of distance to do as they come up onto the Tigerberg straight. Josh Moore and Robinson, Luke Corbett, and Mauro Deleuze. Deleuze looks like he's had a bit of an issue. He's now dropped right to the back of the pack, so maybe there was a bit of damage on that car after that off-track excursion. Try and make up some ground if he can. Out front though, just doing an amazing job. The TSS machine here of Ozir Khan. Yes, he has rolled out slightly. Fiorotto has closed him. Closed down to about 1.2 seconds. But that's also because he's dropped out of the lap times he was doing earlier on. So we'll see whether or not Ozir can hang on for this last half a lap. Is that Corbett? Yeah, Corbett's gone off again at turn 1. He ended up braking a little bit too hard on the braking, just got it locked up and went straight on. He'll get going again, but he's now dropped right to the back of the pack, and even though Deleuze was there with him, looks like his baptism into Rookie Cup has not gone according to plan. Khan onto the brakes into Cape Town corner, Fostron for the last time. The TSS machine is about to take the victory here. Fiorotto on his tail, closed down on him. It was too little too late, unfortunately, for Giovanni. Nice debut there for Giovanni Fiorotto. First time in the car, first time in a race in a front-wheel drive saloon car. And he'll take second place ahead of Christopher Tate. He comes through there for the 3 spot, just in the background of the shot. Here comes the battle for 4th. Hill versus Moore. Moore with the advantage at the moment. Josh Moore just going to hang on. Yes, he does. Keeps out Luke Hill for the top 5. Berlin Robinson will finish up her first outing in Rookie Cup in 6th place for the AF Fans machine. And Mauro Deleuze has just snuck through there on that second last lap because of the mistake that Luke Corbett made, also trying to come back at him after he made an overtaking maneuver down into turn 5. So it is Ozir Khan, Fiorotto from Tate, the top 3. Josh Moore, Hill, Robinson, and Deleuze beats out Luke Corbett. There are 8 cars involved in Rookie Cup.
When you're going off on that last lap, you can see he goes down to a 150, so lost 15 seconds on that. And on the last lap, 135.064.
We're going from Rookie Cup to a couple of gentlemen who may have a little bit more experience in some race cars in the very near future, because up next, we head to the Extreme Supercars first heat. So as you can see, rolling to the line now, Extreme Supercars driven by Dunlop. There's our next heat of racing about to make its way out onto the circuit here at Killarney International Raceway. Paulie, if you do get a chance, just pop into my studio at some point as well, in between the heats there, please, brother. Brad Liebenberg, of course, is the man who's put her on pole. A big turn up there for a lot of drivers to see Brad Liebenberg's pace over the weekend so far. It's the first time that we've seen him in a GT3 car here in South Africa. And, of course, in that Audi, he has now become a big threat to the front end of GT3. And, of course, he's looking for a chance for the Turn Me On and Sparco team to be at least ahead of the usual contenders. If we look at the way things went in qualifying, Charles Rangi's put his brand new GT3 Stradale Motorsport Porsche onto the second spot on the grid. He had a fantastic run in qualifying, tried to stay out of the traffic that was out there, and worked with his teammate Jonathan DeToy from Trans Africa Racing and Stradale Motorsport to get up onto the third row. I do also hear, and the reason why I called Paul across to the studio here is that we are battling a little bit with load shedding in Cape Town. So, of course, with load shedding, ladies and gents, if you are watching from wherever you are around the world or around the country, particularly in the country, more than around the world, if you are watching on YouTube, maybe try on Facebook or vice versa. Bad Brad at the front end of a big field of extreme supercar GT3 from Stradale Motorsport with Charles Rangi's at the wheel, and a man who's just joined the series for the very first time, who puts it on pole in his first attempt, Brad Liebenberg, multiple saloon car champion in his own right. Third row of the grid, we've got a Dodge Viper from Bucketless Racing in the hands of Chris Budnick. Alongside him in Calex and Fast Development Audi is Paul Hill. Gianni Giannocaro, as I've always called them, the Giannacaros, is the first row, as I've always called them, the Giannacaros, is the first of the G&H team. He's there in 7th place, just ahead of Marius Jackson in the third of the Audi car there. Roy Obery climbs into his brand new Porsche for the first time as well. The car there. Roy Obery climbs into his brand new Porsche for the first time as well. He'll be looking to run the flag high there for Val Edenvale and GWM. And Blunden is just behind him, ahead of Renzo Torrente. And then it's Jimbo Giannacaro and Uli Sana that make up the back end of the. It's Jimbo Giannacaro and Uli Sana that make up the back end of the field of 16 cars in total. 16 cars in total. I did see that we might. Well, I kind of thought there might be a couple more of the sports and GT cars that come to appreciate the sport, and we also do appreciate the feedback because it does tell us that things are either working or not. But they're about to go working now, and they got some hard work. It's 12 laps of action coming your way now for Extreme Supercars driven by Dunlop. And it's Brad Liebenberg who will set the pace. Charles Rangi's at the wheel of that magnificent brand new 9th place at the moment, or 7th at the moment there, just behind Hill as they come onto the Tigerberg straight. Yeah, there we go. And then tucked in behind him when Chris Budnick has got his foot to the floor. Big move on here, possibly from Giannacaro. Massive move coming out of Franco Scramanti up the inside, but runs a bit wide, and Jonathan DeToy comes back at him. I was about to say that was maybe a little bit too late on the brakes there from Franco, but Franco just manages to tuck in behind the Lamborghini again and follows him through into Castro Corner. So a big fight on there between Trans Africa Racing's Jonathan DeToy and Franco Scramanti in the Scramanti Racing Porsche. That Porsche is absolutely hauling at the moment. Looked dangerous on the brakes, but it's also very quick in the straight line. But if there's a bit of a gap like there is right there, he might not be able to use the advantage. The straight's long, but it's not that long. Here we go. Let's watch him get the power down. He drops the hammer, and look at it. Look at the straight line speed of that Porsche closing on the Lambo. He gets up alongside him. He tucks on the inside, and now we'll follow Jonathan du Toit through and try and attempt a similar maneuver to what he did in the last pass. On du Toit. In shot, that is Franco Scribanti. In shot, that is Franco Scribanti. That car, the General from that car, the General from Scribanti Racing on those cars as well. And pushing hard is Brad Liebenberg, but here we go. Straight line speed of pushing hard is Brad Liebenberg, but here we go. Straight line speed of Franco Scribanti. Should see him take the lead into turn 1 as we go back into the battle, but a little bit further back than the Lambo. On to the German brand AMG Mercedes-Benz for the season, and has changed his allegiance yet again. Going to try and get the speed out of that AMG Mercedes-Benz. Porsche battle is now won out by Franco Scribanti. He gets ahead of Charles Laurentiis as he heads down that back straightaway. And now looks to close things down on Brad Liebenberg. Liebenberg might be a little bit more of a difficult competitor to find a way through. Let's see how they go. They come across the line and complete lap number 3 of this race. 4 of the race, I beg your pardon. 8 to go. First third of the race completed. This is Harpel under pressure from that progress. London behind that. London at this stage fighting for second in Class B. He's got it for second in Class B. He's got to try and catch that white Lamborghini if he can. To get the lead of the Class B battle. The lead of the Class B battle. Ricky Giannaccaro might help him out there a little bit if he can just somewhere, and he's slow enough yet to make a move. Gianni Giannaccaro enough yet to make a move. Gianni Giannaccaro, of course, sits in second place in Class A ahead of Marius Jackson. That's for the Class A fight in this Extreme Supercars driven by Dunlop. In this Extreme Supercars driven by Dunlop. Nice little battle there. As you can see, Marius Jackson in a bit of a run here with Blunden. Back straight away, we continue to watch this little fight unravel. Jimbo. That actually turned and went off the track there. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm not quite sure which of the John call from him earlier on. Retta continues to fight it out here with Ricky Giannaccaro and Blunden on his tail. Shahir Harpel has now got ahead. He will lead things out then in the Class B battle over Marco Retta. The BMW there has been outgunned by the Lambo, and now the Lambo trying to pull away ever so slightly. Here comes a big move from Ricky, and a look into Sorrel Sweet in the G&H Transport AMG Mercedes-Benz. See if he gets to drive now, maybe a little bit of slipstream from the BMW. Looking for a possible overtake here down into turn 5. Retta knows exactly where to place that car, puts it just on the right-hand side, which forces Ricky Giannaccaro to go high onto the banking. And come out at turn 5 on that high side, which is not ideal. Can get good drive though. Traffic into the second last lap about to be started. Coming through there on Jimbo Giannaccaro in the Porsche. Here from Jonathan du Toit, but still hasn't found an answer to the... Down the back straight they come again. Looks like a change up here as well. Yes. Franco 1:10.7s. 1:10.8 from Liebenberg on the last pass, so only 1/10 of a second between the first two cars on track in terms of lap times. But it's just that speed differential of that Porsche that Brad just doesn't have. And remember, the GT3 cars all run with restrictors to keep them within the GT3 spec that the national class requires, whereas the Porsche's got unlimited. So he is into the banking, head towards into the banking, head towards the chicken flag. Foreground here, Rete, and it's Jonakaro who beats Harpel, just getting over the line, but of course that's not for positioning class, that's just for overall position. And it's Shihir Harpel gets the 8th place ahead of Ricky Jonakaro, but wins the battle with Ant Blunden for Class B. And Marco Rezza just behind that will take 3rd place in Class B. Good drive, great job there from all the drivers. And we head from here into the first heat of Astron Energy Polo Cup.
Times Extreme Festival in 2025 will come to Killarney International Raceway. Then Mocha Radio and Tyler Robertson, followed there by Ethan Gutierrez, Hannes Kiefers. Second screen, plenty of place on the top, on the front monitor to put them on. There's water space. Edmondson from Shireen, Roger Paul, Mohammed Karodi and Tyler Robertson on row number 2, Ethan Gutierrez and Hannes Kiefers on row 3 with Charles Smellberger on the inside of row number 4. And if you look at the amount of people that used to attend Cape Bell Drivers in that showground for over the Cape show. That would be over 2 Saturdays, the old Cape show championship. I remember that as a youngster, holding on to a parent's hand, walking back to the massive parking lot and working your way towards the front of the ice rink and out towards where
watch your back. Don't worry about it.
So as you can see, a really nice crowd here at the Killarney. But incredible news yesterday, we saw the lady who sits currently in 4th place on the grid, Tyler Robinson, actually steal the pole position away from all the boys in the actual qualifying. But unfortunately couldn't quite get it together in her super pole lap, which dropped her down into 4th place on the grid, where she'll start there for the send our condolences. But you couldn't ask for a better sending off for a condolence from her son that loves being in a race car, Rory Atkinson, getting the super pole and putting it onto the front row. Front row for Shrin Rajpal, a rookie, 4th place on the grid, and potentially in this version of it. So 29 years of Polo Cup is what we're into this year. And Ethan Kutsia will be the last of the top 6 there for Lee Thompson Racing and JDR. Behind him, it's Dr. Hannes Skeepers and Charles Smallberger. They'll be looking hard to push hard there for Dane Fern Dental Studio. The first part of the day's proceedings here. And I think we're in for a bit of a fight as well, because there is going to be Volkswagen to Toyota. It's Gazoo Racing SA up on track.
On the live stream today, through those